Well, hey everyone, it's Marcus, and welcome to more chatting in my jungle room. I'm doing a very first Zoom. I've never done one like this before, but I am going to go in bed with Jaron J. Sharon, how are you?
I'm good, Marcus. Thank you for having me. It's
Man,
yeah, look, I got some time off today, so I thought I would take my first interview from my pillow.
yay! I don't know if you remember, but in the 1990s, Madonna brought out a rockumentary movie called In Bed with Madonna. I feel like we're recreating this right now. In bed with Jaron J.
I don't remember that. I was born in 1990, so if it was late 90s, then I would have caught it, but if it was earlier, I was probably too young. I was probably messing around with a toy. I was, hanging out, watching TV or something.
Google it afterwards. Um,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
hey, you are in Adelaide for the Adelaide Fringe, of course, with an incredible show that I caught the other night, and I gave it 5 stars all the way through. 2016 is the name of the show, obviously celebrating the artists that died in 2016, and there was a plethora. It wasn't a very fun year at all for us music lovers. The show
No.
2016 runs from Thursday, 19th of February to Monday, the 9th of March in Gluttony in the open air venue, Fantail. Fabulous. Hey, why did you want to be a part of this show when they approached you?
Well, you know what? I kind of got a cold approached by Zach Tyler. He's one of the producers of Amplified House, who also runs 27 Club, which is an amazing show. I got to see that in Melbourne for their first trip down there. But he called me sort of, as I said, he cold called me, and I think he must have gotten my recommendation through Dusty Lee Stephensen, who's the MD of the show. But at the time when he called me, I didn't really know too much about it. He sort of explained the premise, and he sort of said, he explained the basic premise of the artist we lost in 2016, and he said Prince, David Bowie, and George Michael, and I was like, awesome, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, hearing the names, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I've always actually, let me be careful with my wording here. I haven't always been a fan of Prince, and you would have heard this,
I
Marcus, when
heard
you
that.
saw the show. But I really got into Prince later in life. But by this point, when I'd sort of spoken to Zach about the show, he was like, "Hey, you're going to be doing Prince stuff," and I was like, "Look, I'll give it a shot. I'd love to give it a shot."
Mm.
So yeah, from the get go, it was a very cool lineup of artists to be able to sort of pay homage to.
Oh,
So
and the three of you do it brilliantly, of course, backed by an incredible band as well. But the other person, obviously, Kylie Auldist, is in the show.
Kylie Auldist, of course, yeah,
What a powerhouse voice that woman's got. Wow. The three of you
dude.
up front are just electric. Wow, credit to Zach and the team for putting together such an amazing show. Of course, Amplified House behind the show.
Yes.
Uh, hey, I'm going to stay on that Prince topic then for a little second because I did hear you say that on the night. What was
Sure.
the first song that you heard of Prince's that actually started to turn your opinion around?
Well, you know what? I don't think it was that I ever disliked Prince. And it was more that I just kind of hadn't, I just didn't understand kind of his angle. But I guess the first song was, funnily enough, I think it was I Feel For You, but I think I'd heard the Shaka Khan version first.
Uh-huh.
And that is a great version. I love that song. And then I realized that Prince actually, I heard this Prince demo that he did. It's just him and an acoustic guitar, and it's like an old, very first demo of Prince's. And I heard that, and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so then I did a bit more of exploring, and I'd heard like the classics like Raspberry Beret and Little Red Corvette and When Doves Cry, and I really like those songs. But doing like a little bit more of a deep dive into some of his, I think his first album that has like I Want to Be Your Lover and Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, where it was just like really like very band feeling stuff. So it was just like bass, guitar, drums, really funky kind of stuff, and I was like, wow, that's very cool. So yeah, that was sort of I Want to Be Your Lover was like the first one. Sorry, I Feel For You, and then sort of got into some of the older stuff around then.
And then, of course, he's written music for so many artists as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've heard a lot of them, but Manic Monday by the Bangles, it's just another Manic Monday. You've heard that song?
I think so. Yeah, is that a Prince song?
Yeah, so Prince wrote that. You know,
Yeah, right.
collaborated, lyrically with so many artists, like just an
Yeah.
amazing force. But one I need you to check out, unless you've already known it, but "Baby I'm a Star" from the Purple Rain album. "Baby I'm a Star." Check
Okay.
that one out. You will love it. It's
I will. I will check that one out. Yeah,
um,
great.
but the artists just kept on coming. I mean, you don't cover everybody in the show because it's only an hour show. But the massive one-hit wonder, essentially, "Dead or Alive," "You Spin Me Around." "Wish You Play Out" at the end of the song. Sorry,
Yeah,
at the end of
yeah.
the show. But
Yes.
"Earth, Wind and Fire," Leonard Cohen,
Yeah,
the greatest poet musician ever, just
absolutely.
insane. Hey, out of that collection of people in 2016 that we lost, which artist hit you the hardest?
Weirdly, so there's a bit of a backstory in this. When I really like sort of first started to get into, I say listening to music, but like listening to it with a sort of awareness of what I thought was cool, was probably when I was 12 or 13. And I don't know if you remember when like early music pirating services were around, like LimeWire or Kazaa,
Uh-huh.
any of these like old services where you could go in and download MP3s. I remember downloading Space Oddity and Changes and Starman.
Yeah.
And those were the songs that it was, and I've never really heard anything like that because, and it's sort of like Dusty explains this in the show, like seeing that as a little kid, it's like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
So I'd been sort of growing up listening to like, my parents were very into disco and sort of soul and R&B. Michael Jackson's been a big influence. But
Yep.
so when it came to the artists who died in 2016, I think it was David Bowie because that was a really early memory of getting into rock, of kind of rocky stuff that I wasn't used to hearing. So I think it was probably that. Like you would think it would be Prince based on kind of the look and the stuff I play and how I sound, but it was more David Bowie. It was actually far more David Bowie.
Yeah, cool. There was
Yeah.
growing up because that's where I got my love of music from as well. Obviously, listening to my parents' vinyls, and it just kind of went from there. But who inspires you musically today?
You know what's funny? I do so much I do a lot of music production in the studio. So like when it comes to the music I play and stuff I sort of do outside of 2016 original music, I'm doing a lot of recording and mixing and mastering. So it's funny that I don't actually listen to a lot of music these days. I would say though, it's sort of similar to the artists who I've been inspired by, my whole life. So like Eminem's a big one, strangely.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but also like Michael Jackson, Rufus Wainwright, the Beatles. There's an artist who's from the States who's kind of around these days called Theo Katzman. He's part of a band called Wolfpack,
Oh,
who
wow.
I've listened to quite a lot of. So that would be the main ones. So it's sort of a through line for my entire life. There's not a lot of I haven't. I think I'm in a sort of a bit of a classic in the way that like there's not a lot that's changed in my musical influences for the last like 15 years. But
Mm.
yeah, probably those guys. Yeah.
I'll tell you something I've been listening to, or somebody I've been listening to a lot of, just the last couple of weeks or so. And I was introduced to the Wooten Brothers, who you've just come off tour with, supporting
Yeah.
that incredible Australian tour. But I came onto them after doing an interview with them a good month and a half ago now. And
Oh wow.
I've been playing their music consistently since that. Their music is amazing as well. But, um,
Absolutely.
you just go down rabbit holes, I think, sometimes and just find more and more music based on the music that you are listening to. I mean, that's the beauty of Spotify. There's always those recommendations. Hey,
Definitely.
you've been to Adelaide before, but this is your very first Adelaide Fringe. What do you think of the Adelaide Fringe so far?
I am surprised, honestly, by how wild the crowds go. Like they're really, obviously they buy tickets to shows they want to see, but then when they come to the shows, they're like really losing their mind. It's really awesome. It's
Yeah.
like you get out there and you do your thing, and sometimes, like for musicians, I know that sometimes they'll do gigs where the crowd is and the crowd goes mild, as I will sometimes say. But yeah, like the people have for 2016 at least anyway. And I haven't had much of a chance to go out and see much else at the Fringe, but for the crowds of 2016 have been consistently very like they would get up and dance. People just get up and dance. You don't even need to ask them. They just
I
get up and
know.
dance. So
I
that's very cool. That seems to be there seems to be a differentiation between like normal music gigs and then like the Fringe, whereas Fringe is just like people are losing their mind. It's really cool.
And I mean, obviously, being an open air venue for you, Adelaide's turned it on. Apart from one weekend where we had that rain, I think you had to cancel one show. But aside from that,
Yeah,
you've had crazy awesome weather. So yeah, lucky. So which is always the risk
yeah,
with Adelaide Fringe because you never know what you're going to get. You could get 40-degree heat waves or torrential downpours. But you're been really lucky in that open air venue that the weather has been consistent and pretty freaking gorgeous. Um,
yeah, yeah.
Hey, in Adelaide, when you're not on stage and when you're not in bed, Jaron, where do you like to hang out? Have you got a favorite place? Cafe, restaurant, bar?
uh, I haven't done a lot of exploring. The times that I have been here, I was here one year for a friend's 40th, and so like we hung out and kind of just he's up in the hills, so we like hung out up there. He's
Yeah,
up in where is he? Bridgewater, I think. So we're
yeah,
up there.
nice.
And then the last time I was here before this tour, it was for the Gov show, and so it was a bit of in and out. And then obviously here I've been just doing the Fringe and getting as much rest as I can, vocal rest. But there is a pizza. There's an Italian joint called Amalfi in the city. Do you know Amalfi?
I certainly do. Yeah,
Oh, it's so good. It's
crazy.
so good. So I've been doing I did a couple of door dashes of Amalfi.
I love it. Hey, Karen,
Yeah.
when Adelaide Fringe is all over, like we said, wraps up 9th of March, everyone. So you got to get in quick. There's only, 3 or 4 more performances of this.
Yeah, four more. Yeah.
When it wraps up for you, what's next for you? What's on the agenda? Is there chances of doing a solo Australian tour or something like that?
Well, I'm working on a debut album. So I've put a bunch of songs out on Spotify in the past, but this is my first foray into a full length, all at once album. So I'm pretty far into the album at the moment. I'm about 7 songs in, and so I'm then going to go into the recording process and sort of start to refine. But I'm really pumped for that because it's going to be a good round of songs, and musically it's I've sort of done, you could probably expect I've done the funk thing pretty heavily in my first round of releases, but this is how do I put it, it's an eclectic album, and there's some really good stuff on there, so I'm pretty pumped for that. In terms of touring, I haven't got anything lined up, but I think once I'm through this album, I'm really gonna go hard and fast and start the promo and start all the touring runs for that.
And look, now that you're a name in Adelaide after the Wooten tour, which was phenomenal, and now after, this show in Adelaide, everyone knows your name now. So, there's going to be tickets getting sold left, right, and center for anything you do here now. I'm sure of it. Because
I hope so, yeah.
your voice, your musicianship is just incredible. And again, I say the three of you on stage, Dusty, Kylie, and yourself, together, hearing those voices and the musicianship behind you three was just outstanding. So credit, yay.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I got to say too, I've been talking about it with a few people the last couple of nights. Like everyone in the band is just like a pro. Like absolutely, you hear them play by themselves and you go, "Damn, that person is really good." But also the fact that they all get together and can work as a unit. Like because it's one thing to be really good at your instrument and a virtuoso, but if you can't play with other people, it's useless. So full credit to everyone. Like really it's quite an anomaly that you get this like incredible group of people all together, so I'm pretty stoked to be a part of it.
And that actually all get along as well. And
Yeah, everyone gets
shout
along.
out, special shout out to Nick Jeffries, the man behind the sax, who does some incredible stuff on George Michael's Careless Whisper. Phenomenal.
Dude, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
one last question for you, Jaron J. What is your favorite number that you play during this show?
Oh, it's tough. I do very much like singing Kiss by Prince in the Kiss medley. That's very fun.
Yep.
Although I do also really like I mean, all the Prince stuff is very fun because I get to try and sing Prince, so that's very fun. But outside of that, I really enjoy Hallelujah because Kylie singing that, like listening to Kylie sing Hallelujah. It's there was one actually. This is a great moment that there was one show, and I'm sure you remember where she talks about the story of her dad passing away very shortly before Prince passed away.
Yeah.
And there was one show probably about a week and a half ago where we actually performed that on the 10-year anniversary of her dad's passing. And so it was brutal because she almost couldn't get through the song, and everyone on stage was like
Yeah.
just tears. It was but it was a really nice moment because yeah, she really smacked. You could hear it in her voice. Like that was one of those times where you know you can feel someone singing a song with emotion, and it
Uh,
was like that was it.
love.
So that's
Jay,
pretty special.
you are an incredible talent. You're an awesome human being. It's been absolute a pleasure being in bed with you. 2016, Thursday, 19th of February, which is well and truly gone, to Monday, the 9th of March. Not many performances left, so get on to your tickets, everybody. Gluttony Fantail. Jaron J, enjoy the rest of Adelaide Fringe. I'm looking forward to your album, and I cannot wait to see you do a solo tour supporting it.
Thank you so much, Marcus. You're a legend, man. Thanks for having me on.
See you, my friends.
They did.